G'day guys, here we are, video number 5. We're going to go over the plinth in this video. So again, this is a really easy one. We can draw it once and then multiply it 4 times for the 4 pieces of the plinth, like you can see there. So you've got 4 pieces, they're all going to be identical, and we can just put that under once we finish them. Okay, so again, you are to design your own profile for the plinth. So I'll probably show you, I'll show you how to, I guess, how I sort of drew this one. I'll see if I can remember how I did it actually. But again, yeah, try and do your own design. Try not to just copy my one. Try and customize your own. We'll draw it a little bit out of the way. We won't draw it underneath, so we've got a little bit of room to play with. So we'll go here with the rectangle tool. Remember, you've got to hover over the axis first, or like the origin point, if you want to snap onto that green axis line. So we're going to put in a piece that's 460 and 19 millimeters thick. So we'll go 19,460, and then we'll push it up by 65 millimeters. 65, enter. Okay, so we'll triple click, 1, 2, 3, right click, make component, call this plinth. Now, double click to edit it. First thing we need to do, we need to put miters on the corners. That's probably going to be the easiest part of this to do. So we grab the protractor, click on this corner here, make sure on the blue axis, click once, click in the opposite corner, drag it out that way, and type in 45, enter. Okay, exact same on the other side. Click, click, and 45. There's those 2 lines we can trace. Grab the pencil tool, go from the corner to the intersection, and we'll just use the push-pull tool to get rid of those. Okay, so you can see we've got miters on the corners now. Now, there is one thing that I specified in the drawings, which I'll show you in a sec once I get rid of those guides. It says here, try to leave 40 millimeters of solid timber from the edges, so you do not cut into / expose the miter behind. Right. So when we're actually making this design, if this sort of part of the curve finished over here, like really close, you would actually see the miter behind, you'd sort of expose this miter joint. So we want to try and leave, at least, I think that's going to only be 20 millimeters. But if you leave a bit more of a gap, it's just better safe than sorry. But try and leave a bit of solid timber on the edges. Okay, so let's see. How did I do this? And again, this is just going to be me kind of looking at this design and winging it, which is what you guys are going to do. Draw it down, draw your design on a piece of paper first, and then just try and use the arcs and circles and things to get that into SketchUp. So first of all, we'll go in from the corner. Maybe I reckon I probably went 40 millimeters, and that's where I started it. Yeah, and I reckon we'll start off by putting. Hang on. Can I get close up of that? No, it won't let me. No, anyway, we'll try and put this circle in first. So I reckon that circle looks like it would be maybe, let's say 35 millimeters up. And then the diameter of it is probably, looking at that, maybe we're about 30 there. So yeah, maybe 30 millimeters. So we'll go in 15, and that's going to be the center point, and we'll put in a circle from there to there. All right. Now we can then, we want to sort of have an arc, a 2-point arc to get that nice sort of S curve, probably from here straight down. And then if we go this way, it might tell us when we've hit tangent. Yeah, look at that. See tangent at the vertex? That means here, it's just going to sort of go and continue along that circle. So that looks pretty good, I think. All right. Now the next part, we have to just put in one arc that kind of swings around S like that. So to do that, we might need to actually put in this center sort of 2-point arc. So let's find the center point, which would be at 252.2. Well, that doesn't seem right. How long is this piece? 460. So it should be at 230. Where's 230? No, 230. There we go. There's our center line. Okay. Now the bottom of this arc, I reckon that probably looks. Oh, what we're actually looking for is where these 2 arcs meet, which I reckon is somewhere around there. And that might be halfway. So if this is 65, halfway up would be 32.5. So 32.5. And let's say it's, we'll go 70 millimeters out that way, and 70 millimeters out that way. Right, we'll grab a 2-point arc from there to there. We'll go down bulge of 15. I think that looks pretty good. And then we go from here to probably here. Does that look okay? That looks like a nice, smooth curve, but I'm not sure if I'm happy with this. Oh, hang on. Oh, that didn't actually touch there. That's a problem. Control Z. Here to here, maybe. So can I get that tangent somewhere? Maybe a bulge of 9. That looks like a pretty smooth curve. And now I can erase that. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's put it on across to the other side and see what it looks like. So to do that, we'll just need to measure in from the corner, 40 millimeters in. We'll need to pinch this line, that line, and that line. Press Control C. We want to get the Move tool, hit Control, and grab it from that bottom point. We want to right click on it, flip it along the green. Yes, first time. How good's that? Okay, move it to that point, and I guess we're gonna have to delete this line and just put it in again, from here to here to the end point. And what was the bulge? I think I said 9. Okay, so that looks pretty symmetrical. And if I push that away, yeah, that looks quite nice. Pretty fancy design. This is one of my weak points in woodwork. I suck at designing stuff and making it look pretty. But if I were to do it again, or if I were to modify it, I'd probably move these circles a little bit further down because I think it maybe looks a bit too skinny up the top there. Other than that, I think that looks quite nice. So let's leave the component. Let's paint it. So where's my paint can? There we go. Now, to multiply that 4 times will be pretty easy. We've just got to use the Move tool, hit Control, and grab it, make a copy. Then we're going to, on the top edge, grab that red node, tilt it to 0. There we go. Grab it on the corner and move that to the next corner. Now, we can select both of these if we hold down Shift or Control. Then we can grab the Move tool, hit Control, make a copy of both. And then we can again, there's no node to rotate that. We can use this, the rotate tool, from here to here, and swing it around 180 degrees. Grab the Move tool and put it from corner to corner. And then we've got a nice sort of square base to go underneath. So let's highlight all of that, right click and make it a group so they stay together. So whenever we move one, we move them all. Yeah, that looks like a pretty nice base, I think. Kind of matches that sort of fancy profile, I guess. Now, let's grab the whole thing. We're going to move it to the underside. So grab the top corner of it and move it to that bottom corner here, right? Then what we need to do is, just like we did on top, we're going to measure this gap from there to there, and that's 40 millimeters. So we need to move it along this direction, 20 millimeters. A 20 millimeter gap on each side, and then we need to measure this, and I'm assuming it'll be 40 as well. Yep, 40. So we move it this way, 20 millimeters. Okay, so there we go. That's the plinth in place. That looks pretty good. Okay, so next video we'll do the drawers, and then once we've got the drawers in, we can move the shelf into the right position, and yeah, that'll do it. All right, cool guys. See you in the next video.